This is brought to you by the 12-hour marathon, Become Your Greatest Possible Self, and the company behind it, Burn It Up Coaching, Inc. And specifically, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a high achiever, and you want to get your message out to the world, you want to develop your own platform, you want to launch your own podcast, we're constantly running masterminds to help people do just that. It's like a group coaching mixed with a mastermind to help you launch your message out to the world. If that sounds like fun for you, if you want to find out more, send me a message, chris@beyourgps.com, or find me on Facebook and message me there. And just let me know you want to find out more, you want to get your message out, you want to live your purpose, and be a purpose-driven entrepreneur. So looking forward to talking to you about that. Next up is going to be the iTunes Review of the Week. And this week, the iTunes Review of the Week is by Anthony A93. And Anthony A93 says, Chris the Man burns. Every podcast episode gets better and better. Not only that, you can tell how present and interested Chris is in each of the experts he brings on the show. Thanks so much, Anthony. I appreciate you. If you want to give us a review, go to beyourgps.com/iTunes or search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on the iTunes store, and you can discover us like that. Thanks so much in advance for doing that and for letting us know what you want to see more of, how we can improve and serve you even more to become your greatest possible self. We're just getting started up in this house, so make sure you stay tuned. Nikisha's going to come on in 1 minute. I'm going to introduce her. Before that, grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, be ready to take notes, use your phone, whatever it takes, because this is going to be some gold. Nikisha is a powerhouse and absolutely bringing massive value, so stay through all the way till the end, because you never know what one idea can really transform the rest of your life. And I can almost guarantee you, we make no promises, we make no guarantees, but in all likelihood, there's going to be some freaking gold that is going to change your life on this. So let's introduce her, and then we will bring her on the screen. There are clichés for a reason. And Dr. Nikisha Ware, marketer and mindset coach, is an example of one. Dynamite comes in small packages. The 4'9" boy mom is a bundle of articulate, expressive energy that radiates with enthusiasm and magnetism. My gosh, this is just so these words are so tasty. They're so zesty, so tantalizing. Oh my gosh. The 45-year-old Jackson, Mississippi native, I'm beach girl in a country girl's body, she says, has a bright and easy smile. Nikisha is a former university administrator who enjoys creating through piano playing, writing, and all things visual branding and design. She and her husband of 25 years started a network marketing business and, in 3 years, hit 6 ranks when the business flatlined. She was led to seek solutions on social media and feel in love with coaching. She actually fell in love with coaching. Now her coaching practice hosts one-on-one coaching and private group coaching opportunities for creative women who desire to transform their mental blueprint for social media impact and influence. And we're blessed to have her here with us today. Nikisha, are you ready to rock the house, girl?
I am ready.
She is ready. You are live on Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self. Thank you for being here, Nikisha, and just sharing your wisdom, your energy, your love, and you're just bringing so much to the world. So thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
Absolutely.
This is like my first.
Oh my gosh.
We are baptizing me today.
We are going to have the best time ever here, Nikisha. I promise you. Like, that's my commitment to you. We're going to have the best time ever. And specifically, we're going to start this off hot with your powerful platform. What does this mean to you, your powerful platform? Nikisha, how has that concept of a powerful platform impacted your life?
That's a great question, Chris. And first of all, again, thank you for having me on. I don't take this lightly. This was something that I had postulated, and through our connections, which is actually a great point to segue to this platform.
Yes.
You know, we met through a mutual friend, Andrew Hall, and
amazing.
Andrew and I, we amazing young guy. And we would not otherwise have anything uncommon and would not have otherwise met, save for the fact that we had this social media platform, you know, from two different worlds, different, I mean, I'm a marketer, he's all things. And we were always looking and talking about things, you know, we're going to work on this and projects. And so when he reached out, I was like, yes, I'm saying yes to the opportunity. So that's a classic example, Chris, of how we can leverage this social community that we have to connect, but also to share our message.
Wow. So powerful. Yeah. So it's like the platform is really the ability to connect and make a bigger impact with people, because like we would never have these opportunities without a platform, and you have your platform, Andrew has his platform, I have my platform, and we're able to share and co-create and just create some freaking magic.
I love that word. And with in 2019, there's room enough for everyone.
Yeah.
So I know often, especially when you're on social media, you look at other influencers, other leaders, and you're like, oh my gosh, how do they do it? What are they doing? I want to do that. Yeah. Well, there's room enough for you to create your own path, to carve out your own path. So there's no competition. There's only co-creation.
Yes. I love it. And it's with love, like competition is about fear, is about, comparison, lack mindset. Someone has to be the loser, right? And we don't need that anymore. That's like last century.
That is so last century.
I love it. So Nikisha, tell us a little bit more about you, who you are, and what you stand for, what your clients come to you for.
Well, Chris, you said a little bit in the intro about my background, but what people probably don't know from maybe a resume or even from the intro section on my Facebook profile is that I've had so many life experiences. I've struggled in areas, I've overcome in areas, and the lessons that I've learned, I discovered when coming online, is that other women needed help in those areas. And so often we undervalue what we know and what we've experienced, and we overestimate everyone else's journey. Wow. So we think as women, okay, I have a kid. So classic example, there's a young lady who I met in my mermaid community, Shalana Harris, beautiful woman. They have, I think, 6 or 7 kids. She homeschools. Wow. And she was like, I'm looking for an extra, stream of income. And I'm like, do you know how many women would pay you to help them raise one child?
Yeah.
I mean, you can write your ticket. I know that you think you're just, quote unquote, just a homeschooling mama. But that new mom who has a 3-week-old, she's looking for someone who's been where she is and can take her to where she wants to go. And folks, if you have that and you believe you have that and you're willing and you have a heart of service and you want to give that value, then you can really call the shot. Yeah. You can own a business. You can be a coach. And I know sometimes that term gets thrown around so much, but y'all, the fact of the matter is that you can profit from your experiences. And there are people who are looking for help. Yes. Yeah. They're looking for someone to relieve the pain, to give them relief in this discomforting season. And so this is why you have a platform, both, literally, but also figuratively. Whatever that is, whatever you feel passionate about, whatever you could talk to someone for hours about, you can share that and give value in that area to people who are desperately needing it.
Yeah, 100%. And
so that's what I do.
I love it. I love it. I totally resonate with that because, one of the biggest blessings that I have the privilege of receiving is sharing other people's messages. Like I've done it for over 500 guests now on this incredible platform that we've created.
Phenomenal.
And Nikisha, you have a message, and one of your specialties is working with people to really tap into their story. Tap into their journey, tap into their struggles, what they overcame, and be able to leverage that to relate to people and to add value to them and make a great living in the process, because
Absolutely.
like we all deserve to use and leverage our stories to make a difference for others. Some people might just do it as a hobby. Some people might say, hey, my story is so good, I want to get so good at telling it and sharing it that it actually causes transformation in people's lives, and they want to pay me because of that transformation. Sign me up. Sign me up, girl.
Sign me up. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, that's so beautiful.
I just finished, and I was sharing this with you on our first chat. Just finished the digital charm class.
Wow.
Had 3 phenomenal women in that program. It was 8 weeks. And you know what? They had stories that they just thought, everybody's adopted, or, people have been adopted. The person who's looking for their biological parents is going to be interested. Yeah. What did you do? And more than that, what, not just the skill set, but what soft skills did you employ that put you on that journey? You were tenacious. You were determined. You had courage. And these are the things, beautiful folks, that are, awesome leaders and people that impact people's lives are made of.
So good. So you have an ability to take an inventory of what people have done and really be able to take that inventory and, whip it up into a magical recipe, create a magical recipe that really makes a difference in other people's lives. So I want to go back into your journey, Nikisha, and talk about, how did you get these skills? How did you, what were your soft skills? When did you start noticing that this was your path and your purpose? Let's go back in the journey.
Absolutely. So since we're talking about social media, I came here because, as you said earlier, we were doing great in our business, but we got to a point where we had plateaued. I was like, you know how you get marketers? Hi, Margo. Hello, Carolyn. And if you're in my community, if you're in the secret code, past, present, or you want to be, drop in the comments, #charm. My ladies, I love to see my ladies. So, when we came online, it was out of desperation. And ladies, that's the point. Sometimes we have to get to that point where we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sometimes the lull and the comfort of our comfort zone, we can get, even when we're not doing great, we're doing good enough. Sometimes we're just satisfied. But sometimes we have to get that little, as the princess had that little pea under her mattress, she could feel it. She knew that there was something was awry. And that's how we felt. I knew I could do something. And that's the belief, something I had, a belief that if there was something I didn't maybe know, and maybe just believing and looking for the solution, things might turn around. So I've always felt that way. I've had that since I was a child, that, things are going to get better. Everything is working out for me. Things are going to work out for my good. So that's what I did. I followed one of the top leaders in the network marketing industry, was opening up a group and said, hey, come join our tribe. And he had me at tribe because I'm an FSU Knoll. And so I came online and started, of course, my business got better. We got 7 new team members and customers. We rank advanced, and we had we had team members to rank advanced as well. And then the more I started going live, that's the second key, ladies. Facebook Lives are money.
Yep.
Live video is the quickest, and in this case, most economical way to identify yourself, to share your message, and to attract a tribe, customers, clients, for whatever good product, service, or opportunity that you're dealing with or involved with. And that's what happened. Women started reaching out to me. How do you close? How do you get? What do you say in Messenger? What if they don't reach back out to you? What should I say here? What should I do here? And Chris, I was spending a whole lot of time in Messenger. And it was free. And I was like, hold up. My business is suffering, but I was willing to do it because I enjoyed it so much. Yeah. And, I did the next step, which is what I encourage everyone to do, and that is to get a coach. I hired a social media guru, and her and her husband are a dynamic team. And I paid her. I said, teach me what you know. And as a result of that, I started a free community, a paid community, and now I have one-on-one coaching clients. And so it's belief, knowing that, if I do something different, I believe I'll get a different result. Not being afraid to invest in yourself. If you don't have a coach, somebody just to walk with you by the hand, to hold you accountable, you need to do that. Now, they're not going to know everything. They're not going to do everything for you, but sometimes you need a sounding board. Sometimes you just need somebody to stand in your corner and cheer for you, and then be willing to try things that are different. Yeah.
So that was like a lot of gold there. If y'all ain't taking notes, my goodness, what are you doing? Get a piece of paper, get a pen, get your phone out, be taking notes, because this is gold. And I really love how you said invest in yourself. That's like a key. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, then why are other people going to want to invest in you? If you're not willing to be a product of the product, especially coaches out there who don't have their own coach, like like you got to live what you're preaching and teaching to other people. So I think that's super important. And then you also mentioned about video. That's a platform. Facebook Live is a platform. So are you really utilizing the most effective way to connect with people? And sure, you may not be the greatest at it. You might need to polish your skills a little bit, but that greatness doesn't come without practice, right? Practice makes permanent. You gotta keep practicing to make the skills of greatness, of great communication, of calls to action, of being succinct with your words, of connecting to people, being enthusiastic, all these things. Nikisha, you're doing awesome with this presence. You have a presence on this interview. So do I. We've practiced. We've practiced a lot.
It takes practice.
Yeah, it takes time. Yeah. Wow. So that's gold. And I hope you all are writing these things down, because if you're not practicing, if you're not going out and doing that, that's number one, is like go practice what you know to do. What do you know to do? And then are you actually following through on it? If you don't know what you don't know, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know why you're stuck, have a conversation with Nikisha. I'm sure we're going to tell you how you can do that at the end. But I think that those are some really powerful keys that we've already just covered on already, Nikisha.
Right. Thank you, Chris. And one thing I'll also add, the topic for this was digital charm, and so often women are afraid to say who they are or what they like and how they feel. And I remember on our call, you were very clear. You know what? You might. Nothing controversial, but if you want to get controversial, that's the impression I got. Yeah. You have to take a stand.
Polarizing. Yes.
Polarizing.
Take a stand. Yes.
That's the word you use. I love it.
Yes.
And so women, the only way your tribe can find you is that you stand up. You have to stand up for them to see you. And not everybody's going to like what you have to say. That's right. Not everybody is going to clap for you. And especially if you're on this, if you're on this journey of wanting greater impact and greater influence, there is going to be a part of the journey where you walk alone. Yeah. So you can do that now, or you can do it later. But go ahead and because you have it all inside of you, you just got to release it. Yeah. The confidence and the courage. That's not something external. That's not something even a coach can give you. No. It's just making a decision moment by moment that I'm just going to level up, and that whoever I am is charming enough where people will love me. And, one thing about being yourself is that it's great. I hear coaches and trainers say all the time, hey, Lorraine, yes, be courageous, be yourself, be yourself. Well, as we know, Chris, because we've been on this journey a while. Yeah. Being yourself sometimes isn't enough, because the self that you know right now is right now masked and caving under other people's limiting beliefs, under their watchful eye, their scrutiny and their critique. And so you kind of cow down in life. So in order for you to be your true capital SELF, then you've got to learn about you.
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable with you. Yeah.
Yeah, learning about yourself, becoming self-aware, more self-aware. You know, it's like I love the analogy of who would you follow? What would you tune into? Like who inspires you in terms of leaders and stuff like that, and just embody more of those qualities. Don't try to be them. Look at what are the qualities that make you inspired and that move you. Is it authenticity?
What
is it
makes
boldness?
you like them?
Yeah.
What draws them to you?
Yeah. Yeah, and so when you get clear on that, then you can be that woman, and you can stand out from everyone else because you don't compare yourself anymore. You're just like, I know who I'm committed to being. I know the stand I am. I know how I can be polarizing. Here's what I love. Here's what I won't stand for. And even you could use the word hate. You know, it's a powerful word, and I don't use it sparingly. But if you really want to say, this is really what I stand for people's greatness, then I hate when people are being victims. I hate when people feel like they don't have a say, when they have no power, they give their power away. It's so frustrating to me because everyone has a voice, everyone has a message, everyone has a story to share with the world.
Absolutely. Amen, brother. Everyone has one.
Yeah.
And the thing is you said it so eloquently. There's no comparison because y'all, the easiest and the craziest part is that you are the only one. So it's not even like you have to compete with another Margot or another Carolyn or another Chris or another David or Lorraine. Just you being you pretty much does it. Yep. You got that market cornered.
I love it. So we talked about creating some content with the Facebook Lives, also knowing more about who we are. What else is important to have that digital charm, Nikisha?
Well, definitely learning more about yourself. And then, as you mentioned earlier, also looking at other leaders and influencers. Yeah. Not mimicking them or mocking them, but what are some of those hard and soft skills? Yeah. Are they persistent? Are they consistent? Are they on the social media platforms? Are they and see what they have that really intrigues you. That's one way to just really exploit your personality, but also to share, I cannot say this enough, but to share your story. Write down 10 defining moments in your life. This was actually one of the assignments that I gave to my ladies in the digital charm class, and that is to write 10 defining moments. Now, what is a defining moment? Where in your life did you show up, participate, lead? And we've all got those. Yeah. Come on, we've got those stories inside of us. And Narelle says, hey, Pete, how you doing? We're doing awesome. We're so glad you jumped on. So what are those 10 defining moments? Now, you might not think it's anything, but just for an example, one of my defining moments was when I walked away from school in the 2nd grade. Tried to walk to my mom's job. Wow. Another one was when I was at my father's bedside when he transitioned. He was there for me when I came in. I was there for him when he transitioned. And sometimes we think, oh, nobody cares. I'm telling you, every story. And I think I read, either it was you or some other writer who wrote a post about these stories that will go to people's graves that are untold. Yep. So that is one way you can be charming. Your story, folks, there is some things, and it has been proven, that happens to the human brain when you begin to share a story. Yeah. It's exactly why little kids, when they're school age, Mommy, can you tell me a story? Can you tell me a story? You know why? Because they want to engage, they want to involve, and that's what happens when you begin to share your message. Tell your story, your life experiences that brought you to this point. And ladies, you got here somehow. The fact that you're here, the worst days are behind you. So you learned something. What did you learn in that experience? And the oxytocin gets released in people's minds. So you have an advantage, right? the emotion that you lock in that connects you to one another is through our stories. So get you a bag of stories that you can always go to.
That's right.
Start with the passion, agitation, and then the solution. What did you learn and how you can help other people through that experience, through your jewels now.
Yeah,
right?
That's so powerful. And I love what you said there about start with the passion, then go into the agitation, then the resolution, right? And I think one thing that can be a challenge for new, storytellers, new influencers, new visionaries, new entrepreneurs is they focus so much on the past and like how they were stuck. They can get caught up in that negative swirl and stay there, right? And it's super important when you're telling
their identity.
Yeah. And so it's super important that you don't stay there, but you have that resolution, like Nikisha said, because a lot of people when they're first starting out, it's just like they're trying to find their way through their story, and you have to amplify the energy, step into your greatness at the end of the story saying, this is how I came on top. This is the lesson that I learned. And this is really what I want you to take away and implement and do from now on.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Marty, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you folks jumping on. And ladies, if this is fire to you, if you're getting something from this, feel free to invite your girlfriends, share this. If you share it, please let us know so we can give you big props.
Yes.
We love it when people share the knowledge. Sharing is caring.
That's right.
Be an author of your story, but be a magician with your story, right? I didn't say pain because guess what? I started with the passion, and it's really like you said, wrapped sometimes in pain. And that's, women, no one is getting out of here alive, right? So everybody, no one, I don't care if you're white, black, rich, poor, Democrat, Republican, whatever your ethnicity or your sexual orientation, guess what? Nobody is absolved from the human condition of suffering and pain. So guess what? Let's profit from it. Nobody you see that you follow got through with, rainbows and candy. What they did was just keep on going. They just kept going. That's it.
Yeah,
they didn't define them.
Yeah, they had to have a vision of something bigger than themselves, right? Because if they just kept focusing on themselves, then they would stay with the emotions. They wouldn't have a reason to transmute that pain into, a story, into wisdom, into profit for themselves.
Yes. Absolutely. Yay. Hi, Leah. How are you? And if you're in my community, I love it when my ladies jump on and support me. That is just amazing because they don't have to. But if you've been in the secret code, past, present, or you want to be, put hashtag charm in the comments. I call them all charms.
I love it. I love it. Where did you come up with that name? I love it. Charm.
Well,
it's so
because
unique.
I consider myself a social magician, right?
Yes.
I can just make well, this is a family show, right? So I learn things out of nowhere because we all can do that, right?
Yes.
We're all creators, right?
Yes.
And so I just have a knack for, really bringing to light things that other people don't see. So I call myself a magician. And charms, because it's a secret code, because I'm into all of the spirituality stuff. And I was like, hey, they're charming. Right? That means to bring delight. They bring me delight. And so I named them all. Leah is Soul Charm. Who else was on here? Margot is Mystic Charm. Carolyn is Lady Charm. I named them all because they're my little charms. Like if I had a charm bracelet, I'd have them all jingling on my wrist.
Wow. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. So I know that the spirituality is a big part of you and how you show up in the world as well. Tell us a little bit more about how you've developed yourself spiritually.
Well, Chris, we're all on a journey.
Yeah. And
I had been raised very religious, grew up in the church, very active, played piano for my church, all of that. There were some summers I went to two churches because my granny was very religious. So I was going to her church. I was going to our church. My great grandparents, they were religious, honey. I was going, it would not be a surprise if I went in a matter of a month to like 4 different churches.
Oh my gosh.
And my granddad liked funerals a lot. So I did a lot of church growing up. And then, but I did not have that knowing. You spoke a little bit about awareness, right? Yeah. I did not have, stop, Leah, that knowing of my oneness with the universe. And for those who are in the church, I can say that I didn't have that relationship with the master teacher, right? Yeah. So on a July 1 beautiful Sunday morning, I had an experience that entire weekend. And that morning when I woke up, when everybody else was planning to have an Independence Day, I was celebrating a Dependence Day on this divine power. And for those of you, I mean, you can call it God or goddess or pure positive energy source, whatever. You know, I became aware that I could lean, and mind you, beautiful things had happened in my life. I didn't have a, horrible childhood, but at that particular weekend, I knew that I had a power because there were some things that I had asked for and they happened. Yeah. So that's when I was very conscious that I could manifest things and I could ask for things and that I had this power. And so you're always rushing to get back to that. And so at that time I had a miraculous healing, both my husband and I did. And from that point on, Chris, I just became very hungry, very thirsty to learn more and more about who I am and who we all are. And that is that we're all spirit beings, in a meat wagon. Yep. And when you know that and you realize and you recognize and accept that all of us are this one power, this one entity, and that same entity is in all of us. Yeah. It makes you love people. Yep. You're more compassionate, more patient. Now, do I get lit and out the box? Of course I do. Because I'm still 1/3 human. I mean, right? 2/3 Holy Ghost, I call it, but I'm still 1/3 flesh. Yes. But when you have to bring yourself back to that. Even, I don't care what that person is doing, what they're saying, what things we consider evil that other people are doing, they still have the same power that's in them. They're just expressing it in a different way. And when you can accept that people have the power to choose, just like you do, the freedom to choose how they express this God power, then you're a whole lot more kind, more loving, just like every master teacher, regardless to what theology they subscribe to. That's what they all said. Wow. So that's a huge part of me. Yeah. Yeah, it's like the foundation upon which everything is built. It's the knowingness, it's the connection, it's really being tapped into that power. So that is so powerful. And again, it's going to the polarizing, right? But before you put it out there. Yeah. Before you, Alyssa was on here and she was talking about her faith. And I'm like, you get to own it. That is your message. That is your energy. That is your magnetism that's going to attract people because they believe what you believe, and you really just get to own that and live that. Absolutely. So powerful. So in terms of being a social charmer, like really being the charm, living that social success. What else can we do? What other principles do we need to know to be activating, to be magnetizing in our social charm? Well, be more interested than interesting. That's right. So in the beginning of my online career, so to speak, I did a lot of follow-up, and I think it's important that you do that foundationally. Yeah. So many times, especially when people come online and they hear that you can get quote unquote leads on Facebook, they go straight in for the kissing messenger. I mean, can we date a little bit? Can I see if I like you before I like your page? I mean, let's get to know each other. Yeah. And now I also want to add that you don't want to build rapport forever.
Right.
Right. But there is a way that you can connect with people that will have them come right to you, and that is to ask questions. Be interested in what is going on, because what you have, your good product or service, might not even be a good fit for them.
Yep.
You might not be a good fit. I don't want to coach everybody, Chris. You know, I don't want to coach everyone. There are certain you got to qualify.
Yep. And
so qualify people by asking them questions. Love your form, the qualifying application, honey. Just because you go, I mean, he gonna put the link in here, lady. But just because you fill out the application don't mean you qualify. Qualify your prospects. Qualify your potential customers. Get interested in what's going on in their life. What are their pain points? What are they suffering with? What's going on in their lives? Go to their Facebook profile page. Hey, I saw you were at the beach last week. Yeah. My aunt lives right around the corner. I spent so many summers there. Oh my gosh, where do y'all visit when you go there? Have you tried that restaurant? Well, look, I'm so excited. You know, I just came in here to check you out, and I noticed that, you know, we vibe together. Have you, found a place where you're going to, spend all of your cell phone money, or you have a cell phone provider? Come on. People like people that like them first.
Yeah, I love it.
It's hard to not like a person who compliments you.
That's right.
I fell in love with Chris the moment we talked. Right? So, folks, don't go in for the kiss. Like them. Be interested instead of talking about yourself.
That's right. I love it.
Get to know them. See what you have is a good fit for them.
This is gold. We had a great question from Narelle. Said she's on the journey of self-discovery. She was progressing fast, and last couple of weeks have been a bit slow. Few things to wade through. How can I get through? How can I bring back the shine? Stuck in self-doubt and guilt. What would you recommend, Nikisha?
Narelle, you answered your own beautiful question. That happened to me, and I appreciate that question, because you're going to help so many ladies asking that, because especially students of personal growth and personal development, we get in that rut. We want to get that same high the same high that I got in July 2012. We want to get back that. So we buy all the courses, we buy the books, we go to the conventions, we go to the workshops. And y'all, let me tell you, I would love to be a billionaire just through coaching. But this is the secret. I'm going to give you the secret right here. You don't have to purchase another thing. You have, Narelle, right within you, the answer to your issue. Okay? So, Narelle, you hadn't been having fun. I can tell you that right now. You've been making life a drudgery. And the second thing, Narelle, off the bat, you're not stuck. You're not stuck. So we define and we give ourselves labels because we heard somebody else say that. You're not stuck. Self-doubt and guilt. Well, I don't know if you're a believing woman, but this is what you should know, that there is therefore now no guilt, shame, or condemnation, right? So the things that you are taking on, I promise you, is because you are looking for acceptance and approval from someone to validate you. Validate yourself. Appoint yourself. And don't use words that you heard somebody else say to associate with a feeling you're having. And if you're feeling that way, it's because of your thoughts. What thoughts are you thinking? Right? Because whatever you think, you're going to feel. And based on how you feel, you're going to take action or not take action. And based on whatever action you take or not take, is going to give you a result. And then guess what? The loop starts all over again. Right? Rhea says, I make things much harder than they need to be. I take the long way around. Girl, life can be easy. Not to say things aren't going to be tough, but your perspective of whatever you're experiencing right now is going to make a world of difference. You are never wrong, and nothing is undone. And women, we do it all the time. The fact that you even ask the question means that you think you're doing something wrong. You're not wrong. You're never wrong because you're never done. So change the perspective of whatever you're looking at, because it's not over. Maybe making another decision, maybe putting it to the side, finding a way where you can be happy. I like that practice makes permanence. I love that. So it's all about, I love that, Paisha. She says it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective, because life happens to everybody. Life comes to everybody's house. The difference of those who win and prevail is how they look at whatever that experience is. You know, I'm glad Leah is on here. She was in one of my money magnet boot camps. And before she got into the boot camp, she was like, oh, I really want to get in. You know, she wanted to make that investment. And I shared a tip on a Facebook live video. Ladies, do the live videos. You know, instead of looking at your banking account, even if you got $11, that was the example I gave. Even if you have $11, ask, instead of saying, dang, I only have $11, what could you do with $11? You can go down to the Dollar Tree and buy 11 things. You can go to Walmart and get 2 of those $5.99 rotisserie chickens, right? So it's about making the shift. And do you know that she did that? She made a list, whatever she had in her bank account that day, she made a list of all the things, different scenarios. And do you know, she manifested $1,111 and was able to get into that program. Wow. By it's seeing
what she already had. She already had it.
She already had it. You know, I just finished our money manifestation program again in the Secret Code community. And if I still have any, that comment changed my life. Oh, Soul Charm, I just love you. Even though you just called my butt out. Yep, they know I'll call them out too, Leah. I mean, they know. But the other thing that I shared with the community members, my charms, is that everybody's looking, okay, how do I manifest money? How do I attract money? How do I become wealthy? Rule number 1, know that you're already wealthy. That negates all the other crap that you've ever learned in any manifestation program. Somebody promising you're going to make $10,000 in 30 days. First of all, realize that you're already wealthy. She was wealthier, Leah, whatever amount was in her checking account, she was wealthier in that moment than 98% of the other people in the world. If you're listening to this particular live right now, you're wealthy. You got a smartphone. You got a desktop. You're running your own electricity, indoor plumbing. And the thing is that whatever you're desiring right now is already in your experience, waiting your recognition of it.
That's right.
It's just waiting for you to recognize it. And the only way we can recognize things is to appreciate. That's why we put our money in investments, so it can appreciate the wealth that you already have.
It's so good. It's like really the fundamentals, practicing appreciation, recognizing what you already have. There's so many great comments. Narelle said, I'm finally speaking, but getting told to shh a bit, and I don't think I should have to. It's confusing. I'm a people pleaser. What you got on that, Nikisha?
My name is Nikisha, and I am a former people pleaser. Hello. You know what? I was the firstborn. I was the first grandchild. I looked pretty in pink. My granny always said I was a smart little girl. I played the piano. And y'all, when you get that kind of feedback, You like that kind of feedback.
Yep.
You don't want to make people upset. You don't want to make people angry. And y'all, I will say that it was 40 years old before I could make my own declarative statement. People pleasing is a formula for sadness and depression. When I find that people, and this is disclaimer, there is healing and there is a place for all kinds of healing, even medication. Okay, so I'm not encouraging anybody to get off their meds or to not go to a licensed counselor therapist. Okay.
Yep.
But I will say that in my experience, I have found that depression comes from you living under the weight of other people's acceptance and approval.
That's right.
My favorite book says the fear of man will bring a snare. Let God be true, every man a liar. When you are seeking other people's acceptance, wanting them to co-sign your decisions, having to call around and get a committee to get a consensus so you can move on with your life, I can tell you with 100% accuracy, you have a life of a lot of pain and suffering to go.
Yep.
And, you know, to talk about charm, you have to not give a care, family show. You have to get to the point where you don't care what people think.
Yeah.
And it took me 40 years to get there, folks. You just have to get to that place.
Is there anything that you did that sped it up for you, that accelerated the process?
Aside from having a life of pain and suffering, going into careers, let me tell you, I was a university administrator. I bought that bill of goods to go to school, get good grades, get a good paying job, you know, and I did that. And I've got even though I had a 6-figure job, I had a 6-figure student loan to match.
Yep.
And that's why I am so in love with what I do, because it allows me to create. That's what I started doing. Yeah. When I was in elementary school, my mama put in my hands one of those Mr. Sanford's colored marker set. When I got to middle school, she gave me a calligraphy set. She started contracting me out to her friends, her girlfriends. I did invitations, wedding announcements. Wow. When I got to high school, I added to that repertoire desktop publishing. Wow. Right? And then I did like everybody else did. Hey, Krista, I see my charms. Always hop on and let me know you're on with me, charm. Put in the comments, #charm. I see Erin hopped on. I just love when my ladies come. Yay! So when I got to, 17, I'm about to go to college, I had been indoctrinated to go to college. Get that master's degree. I got the PhD. And then y'all making great money, traveling, I was just having feelings like Narelle was feeling, like this is not feeling like me. Right? And that's why I love what I do now, because it's what I feel like I could have always been doing. Yeah. I'm a creator. I love anything to do with a graphic. Sometimes I can stay on all of my graphic tools, and my ladies will tell you I kind of have that takeover spirit. I can take their project and do it. You know what? Let me do it. So I love all things visual branding. And shucks, I think about what I invested in just the PhD program alone. Yeah. But I appreciate it, and I'm grateful for the blessings and the doors that opened. But guess what, y'all? What I'm doing now. So you gotta like what you're doing now. Yeah. No matter who says you're not gonna make money at it, or do what you're supposed to do, or people don't make money doing that. Yes, you can. Yeah. Yes, you can.
And I want to add on to that, because that's gold. Even though like we're talking about this, it might not be easy at first. I know for me, like yes. I had to really work to appreciate where I was at, and not feel like I always had to, it's tomorrow. The grass is always greener on the other side. It's when I get to the mountaintop. It's when I get the thing. It's when I have the travel, the adventure, whatever it might be for you. Like, it's not when you get that thing. How can you recognize all the great aspects of it now and really celebrate it. And for me, it was not a celebration in order to get there. It was celebrating it because all I have is now. I'm not promised tomorrow. Yesterday's gone. So I'm going to embrace this moment and just be so like overwhelmed with gratitude for what I've been given, what I've been blessed with, what has been, placed into my life. And I'm just so grateful for that. So I wasn't always like this. And I'm sure, Nikisha, it wasn't always so easy to be grateful for what is, because it's easy to notice the things that suck, that are not good, that aren't how you want them to be. They stick out like a sore thumb, right?
Yes.
But you really get to be responsible for your power, for your perspective, because that literally can transform your world overnight when you start to focus on different things. And Laura Shortridge says she loves you, Nikisha. You two definitely got to connect. She's an amazing guest who's been on the show as well. And she said,
"Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, she's
love you
awesome."
Tonight, hon.
Laura said, a friend of mine always says, if it ain't your story, don't own it. And I think that's super powerful too. The boundaries.
Powerful.
Yeah. Set up your boundaries for who you are and what you will or won't tolerate in your life. I think, women especially have that challenge of wanting to nurture and take care of people. And there's like a lot of toxic people in the world and like time vampires, right? Like they come and they try to steal your time and put their crap on you. Don't take it. Don't take it. Throw it off. Say, sorry, I'm not dealing with that. You got to find somewhere else to dump that trash.
Dump it somewhere else.
That's
garbage
right.
in, garbage out.
I love it. Nikisha, this is gold. I'm fired up.
It's exciting. I love it.
So we want to take this home. We want to take it home with some really powerful either recap or final takeaways you want to give to our audience. What are those, Nikisha?
Well, being you means being just that. You've got that market cornered. There were some practical things that I gave this live. And if you're jumping on late, I would recommend that you go back and watch the replay, get your blue ink pen and beautiful journal, sexy tablet out.
That's right.
And take some nuggets, but just practical things is to be interested instead of interesting. Yeah. Right? So many times people dip into my messenger, because they think I'm connected or they think this, that, and the other. And my thing is I don't know you like that. Can you get to know me, before we go in for the kiss? Be interested. People like people who like them first, right? And so like their page, like their comments. I used to do the 3-2-1, and I learned this from a great leader in the marketing industry. 3-2-1 rule. Go to their page, 3 likes. The next day, 2 comments. The next day, send a friend request. 3, 2, 1, okay? Then if you have not started this, do this. I went live for a year. Do a Facebook Live video. If you're struggling with content, reach out to me. Yep. An easy way to come up with content, 5 things that you love. You don't have to have anything to do with your business, especially if you're here building a business. Yeah. Right? If you like to crochet, if you like cycling rather, if you like working out, share that with people, which leads me to the next thing. People won't know to come to you until they know what you're about, right? That's right. So share you.
Make the offer.
Brand you. Yes, before you make the offer, brand you. Yeah. People, all things being equal, do business with people they know, like, and trust. That's right. So make them fall in love with who you are. And honestly, Chris, I began to know and learn more about myself just by going live. Yep. It's like it's only you in there. I mean, yeah, you can interact and engage with comments and stuff, but like you are responsible for generating what comes out of your mouth, and you start to hear what you're saying, like, and you start to notice your unconscious automatic thought patterns and speaking patterns, and it's like, boom, that's who I am. Okay. Yes. Absolutely. And just be your charming self. Learn as much about yourself and know that you have all the solutions inside of you right now. Right? I would love to coach, people and this and the other. I do that because I love doing that. Yeah. But ladies, you don't have to, go to another convention. Let your inner self lead you to the next investment.
Yeah. This is great. And Nikisha, I really want to recap because we've covered so much amazing stuff in this conversation. And I know it's only the scratch of the surface because it just kept flowing out of you like you're a channel, girl. You're a channel of this wisdom, of this empowerment, and really helping these women to up-level themselves.
You can't let me recap.
Yeah, this is great though. This is really, really good. So for anyone who is loving this conversation and you haven't yet talked to Nikisha, you haven't yet friend requested her, followed her, had a conversation, join her group, whatever it might be, go find out more because Nikisha is on fire and you definitely want to get around that. You want to experience that faith, that empowerment, that growth that Nikisha is going through. And I saw multiple clients about people manifesting, $3,000, $1,000, like all this incredible stuff that you are doing. So not just financially, but also their self-worth, their self-image, owning, their peace of mind, their freedom. And again, this is all just the scratch of the surface. So our audience definitely wants to know, how do they stay connected with you, Nikisha? How do they have a conversation? What's the next step?
Well, definitely reach out to me. If you have not sent a friend request, I'll see that you are a mutual friend with Chris. Any friend of Chris's is a friend of mine. Oh. So reach out to me. You can message me. You can find me on my profile page. I have a business page. And that's how I do business now. My coach made 6 figures, in 1 month. And y'all, she didn't even have a website. Right? So I don't do ads. I don't do anything. I grow my tribe organically. Yeah. And so that's how you have to reach out to me. And I would love to connect. Do a consultation and I'll find out more about your business. You'll see what it's like to be coached by me. And if we discover that we're a good fit, we'll go from there. I would love to help you.
So beautiful. Nikisha, you're a powerhouse. Tell us what the URL is that they can find you at, that they can go to your page. Tell us more about that.
Sure. Facebook.com, naturally, and it's Nikisha S. Ware.
Beautiful. And then the official page is Dr. Nikisha Ware, right?
Dr. Keisha.
Dr. Keisha.
Dr. Keisha. Yeah, I'm going to actually put it in the comments.
Put it there. Put it there, girl.
Yes.
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 I love it. I love it so much. Well, Nikisha, you are an absolute treat and an amazing human being, amazing woman.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the impact that you're creating in
blessing.
women's lives. And this is just the beginning for you. I can feel it. So keep up the heat, and we'll see you real soon, okay?
Thank you so much, Chris, for having me, and love you to life.
I love you too. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.